Coming to the more next level of how do we achieve what Mother intended this city to become. One crucial, perhaps a very important factor is the population. And Mother indicated somewhere around 50,000. Some people absolutely believe in the number, some think it's just a ballpark. And in that, keeping that as a reference, we also know that even in the city area, the bulk of the city is dedicated to the residential zone. And you said 40,000 are to be accommodated there. How seriously we should take this number, point one, because a substantial, right now the residents believe that it's not necessary, we can just let it was a 60s model, why should we even bother, things have changed, we have moved on, climate, this and that, all those things. So why is 50,000 in your view an important figure, or some respectable number in that effect? And how do you look at the priority? Should we look for people first or the place first? What I mean is, for example, when Anton came, he arrived and then he built the place. Or should we first build the place for people to arrive? Chicken and egg story in a way. How would you like to solve it?
So, actually, I have a village home, and my village's population is about 3,000 to 5,000 people. And so this question and I've grown up in a very organized city. I grew up in Bokaro Steel City, where all these pointers of social infra were all there. There were, every 50 houses had a little park where we could play football, and every 150 houses there was a community center where we could go and play badminton. Or so as a 4-year-old, I could go and buy bread for my house. Though I was still walking on roads. Okay? But roads were safer because there was just so few traffic.
Right.
So much less traffic, and people moved to the plant and moved back.
Right.
There was no other traffic of any kind. So
right.
Who you saw on the scooter was your uncle or a neighbor or somebody, and we could walk to school. But what was interesting in a small city was where it was still village-like. We had 50,000 population working in the plant at that time. So that means we were about a 2 lakh to 3 lakh population city in 30 square kilometers. So it's a scale that I'm trying to, connect to. And what essential, and then I worked in Goa, where despite it being a state, it was very village-like. And what was this village-like thing? I spoke on a dinner table in South Goa at one time. I cracked a joke and I said, when I go in Dean's Jeep, it was an open Willys Jeep. The girls look at Dean and I look at the girls. And this news, next day in the morning, my receptionist in the office is telling me, from South Goa to North Goa, right? The news has traveled without, what has it traveled with? That's a village. Now,
it has traveled via WhatsApp?
There was no WhatsApp at that time. And there were no mobile phones. Okay, I'm talking about 1994.
The technology of gossips existed? Technology of gossip existed?
Gossip existed. Now, what happens is, shifted to a person in Goa trying to establish a psychiatric hospital. And so he studied he was born and brought up in Mumbai. And he says, I'm establishing this hospital here in Goa. And all of us said, are you nuts? Who's mentally sick in Goa? Right? And you come from Bombay, why don't you start? There are many more hospitals required in Bombay. He said, you'll be surprised that the maximum number of mentally sick people are there in Kerala, Pondicherry, and Goa. And there are fewer mentally sick people in a bustling metropolis which is bursting at its seams, Goa, in Mumbai. He said, in Mumbai, you can sit on a very crowded beach and still feel private. in Goa, in no place can you feel private. Now, what is that number and what is the density which can make us feel both connected and yet when we want, we can feel aloof. I want to meet perhaps a new person every day. Is that possible with 50,000? I don't know. But on the question of the number, I just have faith because first I signed up to be a devotee before being signing up for anything else. Right, so I just believe that number and I'm willing to try and fail with that number. If it has to fail, she will fail, not me. Right, so let her fail, but let me at least give all I can sincerely to get there.
Right.
So that's my 2 points. That.